There is so much information happening at once right now that I'm actually baffled that I can talk about one specific thing on top of all the things going on currently right now. So, if you don't know, what happened recently is that somebody opened fire at the White House just randomly, just launching a bunch of bullets at the White House. And we can see a bunch of reporters reacting to that right now.
What is that?
We can tell that she's been in some gunfire before. This person at least knows what Detroit is, and this middle person is obviously privileged. She's the only one that had a real reasonable reaction to me if we can gauge reactions about how this is going down. But outside of that, the person that they said did it is this guy right here. Now, this is from the New York Post. This was going on right here. We can see on the New York Post, this person has a lot of stuff. Gunman who believed he was Jesus Christ opened fire on White House checkpoint. He was neutralized by Secret Service. So a crazed gunman who believed he was Jesus Christ pulled out a revolver and opened fire outside the White House Saturday night before he was quickly taken down by a barrage of gunshots from the Secret Service, sources say. Nazir Best, 21, fired at a checkpoint at about 6:10 p.m. after being seen pacing in a strange manner up and down 17th South Street Northwest. Sources told the Post he only got off a few shots before he was shot and killed in a hail of bullets from federal officers. At least one bystander was hit and seriously wounded in a fulicide, the sources said. This man obviously looks like a Hotep. You can tell by his Neanderthal skull right here. I'm using racial phrenology just to say this man was definitely a Hotep. We can tell that right now. Definitely Hebrew Israelite. We can feel that he thought the earth was flat. I could tell just by his face. And also, you can tell by his skin color, obviously, that something was wrong. Is what I've been reading on Twitter. Is basically, I'm reading a Twitter post right now on my phone about this guy. People are being wildly racist about this, as usual. While a motive for the attack hasn't been confirmed, I'm sorry, let's go back to the top. He thought he was Jesus Christ. He was taking out the Antichrist, who was Donald Trump. Obviously, he thought he was Jesus Christ. Don't know why they said that. A little bit crazy. Sources said Best is a mentally troubled individual who is well known to the Secret Service for repeatedly loitering around various entry posts and who has violated a previous court order to stay away from the White House. FBI is on the scene and supporting service responding to shots fired near White House grounds. We will update the public as we're able. FBI Director Kash Patel posted on X. Now, this is all very shocking, and I imagine that you possibly couldn't even have anything else that you possibly could worry about because nothing like this has happened before. Unless we're talking about a month ago, where a month ago, a suspect in a White House correspondence dinner shooting was charged with attempt to assassinate the president. Oh my goodness. He was trying to assassinate the president. Cole Thomas Allen, 31 of Torrance, California, was arraigned today in U.S. District Court on charges stemming from the April 25th, 2026 shooting at the White House Correspondent Associates Dinner. This man had a shotgun trying to take out the president. That's a little bit horrifying. He wrote a whole thing there. Now I'm a little bit horrified to discover that this isn't even the most important news that's going on right now. Who cares about that? That's two shootings a month apart. Really a coincidence there. And this is as Trump was doing peace talks about Israel. This happened 6 hours ago. Trump says Iran deal largely negotiated, including reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, which is interesting because I swear to God he said this last month. I promise you, he said this last month. But that's not the most important thing. Let's go to his Truth Social for a second. The Dow is at an all-time high. Same thing that, oh my God, I forgot her name. Man, I forgot her name. Marjorie Taylor Greene, whatever her name was. I don't know. I really forgot her name. Anyways, the Dow is at an all-time high. This is amazing. This is the greatest news I've ever heard. Now, I'm not personally invested in a Dow, but I imagine you good, hardworking American citizens are deeply invested in the Dow. This is beautiful. We love to see it. He even talked about what happened. Thank you for our great Secret Service and law enforcement for the swift and professional action taken this evening against a gunman near the White House who had a violent history and possible obsession with our country's most cherished structure. The gunman is dead after an exchange of gunfire with Secret Service agents near the White House gates. This event is one more removed from the White House correspondent dinner shooting and goes to show how important it is for all future presidents to get what will be the most safe and secure space of its kind built in Washington, D.C. The national security of our country demands it. Another push for the ballroom, which is so beautiful. It's amazing. Now, do I think the president knew about this guy? Knew that if he keeps flaming all this stuff, keeps getting specifically people of blacker descent to actively be taken out and do this stuff that are people that are obviously mentally ill so we can push for this ballroom? Do I think that the president of the United States is doing that? That's a great question. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about those Iran peace deals because President Trump said they went amazing. I am in the Oval Office at the White House. We just had a very good call with President Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan of the United Arab Emirates, Emir Tahim bin Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdulrahman bin Jassim bin Jafar Al Thani, and Minister Ali Al Tawadi of Qatar, Field Marshal Saeed Asim Manar, Ahmed Sahan of Pakistan, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi of Egypt, King Abdullah II of Jordan, and King Hamad bin Isa al-Khalifa of Iran concerning the Islamic Republic of Iran and all things related to a memorandum of the understanding pertaining to peace. An agreement has been largely negotiated, subject to finalization between the United States of America, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and the various other countries as listed. Separately, I had a call with Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu of Israel, which likewise went very well. Obviously, it's Big Yahoo. You obviously got to go with Yahoo. And final aspects and details of the deal are currently being discussed and will be announced shortly. In addition to many other elements of the agreement, the Strait of Hormuz will be opened. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Well. I'm confused by all this information because I thought we already won the war. The war was over. I thought the Strait of Hormuz was already open. I guess I misremembered. Thank you, President, for redistributing my memory for me. But that's not the most important thing going on. Because all this stuff, a little bit worthless. We don't care about the shooting. Matter of fact, ballroom is going to get made. We are all for the ballroom. Did you know we got aliens? Yeah, that's right. It's right here. See these images? So let's go ahead and look at this right here. Now, these are unexplained phenomena in the air. Now, this is very, very obviously aliens we can see in the sky. See it right there? That's a man turning. Now, I can't really tell what this is. This looks really interesting. This is in August of 2015. A guy just floating in the air, spinning. He's going at apparently Mach 5 billion, is what I saw from reports. This is the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This is terrifying. Now, I would say that these are unrelated videos that was debunked in 2016. It was a stormtrooper balloon. I would be concerned about this, why they're showing this on X and why they're getting all this nonsense here. Well, that's because they're also talking about a bunch of reptile aliens going around. Now, this image has been circulating online, and people are going a little bit crazy talking about this specific image, saying, oh, it's aliens. Ashtar is nuts. It's crazy. It's Star Wars nuts. So there's another type similar to us? Oh, Men in Black told you, silly, it ain't a movie. It ain't a movie, man. This ain't a movie. This ain't a movie. It's real life. This is real life. Aliens are definitely not white people. Oh, this is horrifying. This is horrifying. Oh my goodness. So I decided to check up on all this stuff. Everybody's talking about it. Pentagon released a second batch of declassified files. And the U.S. government made a bunch of stuff and they're talking about it. So I decided to read one of the articles. So let's go ahead and read the article. Let's go ahead and read this here. U.S. government has recovered 4 alien species from U.S. soils, says ex-CIA researcher. Whoa, I could stop reading right there. But I trust that this article is actually going to tell me the information I need to read. The U.S. government has recovered 4 species of aliens from UFOs that have crashed on Earth. A former CIA researcher has claimed. Hold on. Has claimed? Wait. Where are the aliens? You said this is a claim? I thought you said we found aliens. This is just a claim? Well, I'm confused now. People who have been involved in recoveries have said there are at least 4 types. Now, I have not had direct access to that, but I believe the people who I have talked to, 4 separate types of life. Okay. Well, who's the guy? CIA researcher Hal Puthoff claimed on the Diary of a CEO podcast. Well, I've read this before. I've read this exact article before. This is the same article they've used in this one right here. It's the same guy. As a matter of fact, in all these articles, it's this guy, Harold E. Puthoff. Hold on. I'm a little bit confused. What did Harold E. Puthoff do? What is he known for? Okay. Puthoff was born in Chicago, Illinois. He received a BA and an MSc in electrical engineering from the University of Florida in 1967. Puthoff earned a PhD in electrical engineering from Stanford University. Okay, with a thesis, the stimulated Raman effect and its application as a turnable laser. Puthoff then worked on turntable lasers and electron beam devices. Okay, he seems to know a lot about his stuff, right? Parapsychology and pseudoscience. Well, what's this? Puthoff took an interest in the Church of Scientology. Okay. Alright. Interesting. Well, what's parapsychology? What is this? What we should learn about what this is, right? This is important. Is the study of alleged psychic phenomenon. Extrasensory perception, telepathy, teleportation, precognition. Oh, he believes in telekinesis. Okay. Well, strange. Wait a second. This is a little bit weird. I don't understand. What's going on? This is so strange. His studies got disproven as well? It said his studies got disproven? Okay, it says psychologists David Marks and Richard Kamen attempted to replicate Puthoff and Tar's remote viewing experience in a series of 35 studies. They could not replicate the results. So he doesn't have any peer-reviewed studies? This is kind of odd. I'm a little bit confused. Because this guy is claiming that there are 4 aliens. He didn't see them, but he heard from people that heard from people. Puthoff did not go into specifics. His longtime collaborator, Eric Davis, said last year that the 4 species are Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. Okay. Is it just from some guy? Eric Davis? Who's Eric Davis? Who's this guy? Who's Eric Davis? Let's learn Eric Davis. I'm curious about Eric Davis. Who's this guy? Is this Eric Davis? Hold on. No. Hold up a second. There's no way. I gotta figure this out. Okay, alright. It's the wrong Eric Davis. Okay. Teleportation physics study. Okay. And this is just some study? Okay, that's interesting. That's cool. There's no but pictures of the guy. Guy doesn't have a Wikipedia page. Well, we don't gotta really care about that. That's not really important. Because we got filmmaker Dan Farah. Why is he here? Why is this filmmaker here? Now I'm confused. Hold on. Who's Dan Farah? This guy? He made Ready Player One? He made The Legend of Awesomeness Maximus? Whoa, did he make more? What else did he make? Oh, that's it? Well, he made Ready Player One, right? And he made Alter Egos and Burden. Why is he here? Who is this guy? I'm confused. He said, this guy said there have been dozens of recoveries of crashed craft in the U.S. alone. How does he know this? Do filmmakers get information that I don't know? Am I dumb? Am I stupid? Now, do I think all this is just hearsay to distract us from the Epstein files, to distract us from the ballroom, or to distract us from the fact of distracting, and they're hitting me with a bunch of stuff that I can't possibly cover all at once? Do I think they're doing that? Yes. All this stuff is actively conspiratorial as hell. The most important thing about this entire thing to me is the fact that Donald Trump can no longer be taxed or investigated by the IRS. That's the most important thing to me right now. New settlement term bars IRS from investigating Trump, his family for past tax issues. That's what the settlement says. He can no longer be investigated for tax fraud. Period. The president of the United States cannot be investigated for tax fraud. Let me be more specific with you. The IRS cannot bring claims against President Trump, his family, or businesses for past tax issues, according to additional terms added Tuesday to the settlement the Justice Department reached with Trump to resolve his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. Think about that for a second. The President of the United States cannot be investigated for tax fraud. The additional terms, first reported by Politico, were quietly added in a hyperlink in Monday's Justice Department release that contained an agreement to create nearly $1.8 billion funds to compensate people or organizations that have been weaponized by past administrations. This is horrifying. This is should be the main news story. This is terrifying. Listen, they can keep trying to distract me all they want to, trying to keep me from talking about the Epstein files, keep trying to get me away from Ghislaine Maxwell all that they want to. What I do know is that this stuff is horrifying, and all the stuff they keep using to distract people from the truth is going to catch up to them. I am waiting for the slowly then all at once moment for everything to happen, because it's going to happen all at once. I can't wait for this to come out. But right now, They can keep distracting us and hitting us with all this nonsense. I just wanted to talk about all the stuff that was going on. I'm very sick right now. I'm very under the weather, so I'm going to go lay down. Thank you guys so much for checking out my video. Have a lovely day or night wherever you're at. And I'm out. Peace. Bye.
I'm your Nick at night, be my Laura Angelo. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.